Hello there, gacha gamers, and it's not red. It's not. This month has been painful. We've had Frelia, who's red but not red. We've had Vitonir, or whatever it is red but not red. At least we got the Zan card. That's red. So we'll get started with the Beast card. Now I will also have to go over Frelia again because there's more to that card than I first knew. So here we've got, this is standard Type MR shenanigans, but plus 60, so the power creep is there for them. 10 training, 22 loyalty bonus, 120 to both intelligence and defense. The fame and loyalty bonus increase, so you'll get 20% extra, and then that boosts tournament rewards, I believe. So that boosts tournament victory events by popularity and loyalty up to a maximum of 50%. It's alright for free. The extra bonus aptitude percentage to both intelligence and defense. The plus beast training for all the beasts that you have on your team. 15 loyalty, another 8 training, and then we have our final two. So you've got breeder training appearance rate, training effect boosted by 25% and support effect by 15%. And the assist effect will now be activated even when the breeder is present, so the second half of the card. Standard fare. Skills wise, we've got two separate skills here. So this one here is when you use an aura effect, the aura based attack, it increases your crit rate and your crit damage up to a maximum of 30 or 50%. Then you have a 20% follow-up attack on the second half of this skill. So you can see this here, and that's the same here. If you are advantageous, so in winning position. And then an additional bit for the level 2 is that if you have SS or higher range suitability, then you end up with a follow-up attack at a rate of 10% of your defense. It makes sense for the card. Is it huge? It might be an interesting skill for Road to Masters. It could have decent work for the Grand Slam. If you're after something that does a huge second hit, you could use a weak or a hit to increase the chance of you hitting crits and doing more damage with them. Is it amazing? The shield here is a bit more interesting, but also a bit more limiting, unfortunately. So you're talking to deploying a shield for 30% of... it says your own strength. I have to imagine this is toughness, because it's got the defense little symbol there. Strength might be a combination of toughness and int. Not quite sure. Irrespective, 30% plus an extra 100 or 200, depending on which skill you get. And inflicting panic, level 3 or 5 onto the opponent. So, this is a bit more limiting. Red beasts. I mean, we've got a few. A lot of Zillas. You've got the Centaurs. You've got the Cubies. They're all there. It's just a bit of a weird shame that beasts have had this slight shafting when it comes to the skills. Zan card. Now, what's also really nice here, well, I say nice, it's power creep. Yay, everybody's favourite. But it was bound to happen at some point, so these kinds of cards were not they weren't great. 60 plus to all of your max stats if you are a creation monster is really nice. 25% errantry. But gubbins, that's not great. Don't worry. There's 2 of them. 11% training bonus is nice. 11% great bonus. 150 skill bonus. So your maximum skill is boosted by 150 with +3 to your skill trainings when you train with this monster. You used to get that as 2 separate nodes across the entire card and it'd be +2. Now it's just here in one. Level 4 bonus to your creation. That used to be +3. So kind of annoying because it means that you still need to bring something like how to make this +5, and it's just like, well, why? That's really frustrating. Why they didn't just make it +5 and just go screw it, I don't know. Another 6% training bonus, an EX rate gain bonus of 40%. So that's an extra 10% now when you have those rate gain bonuses, which again isn't much, but that's what power creep does. It's just a little bit, just a little bit. 8 more great bonus and 25 loyalty bonus. So this card has a little bit of everything. And then we get a cool ass cowboy hat. Actually, did we look at the tiger one? Tiger, oh yeah, tiger one's just the wings, so it's nothing new. But cool ass cowboy hat. And then we come to the skills. So the first one, oh, okay, hang on, let me just double check. Right, okay. So the left-hand side for the Beast MR must give you some sort of range aptitude or area aptitude. But we do have the interesting instance that the second part of the Zan event will give you super fighting spirit. Yeah, so it's your guts restoration upon hit. So if your opponent has a big chunk of guts towards late game, you'll get guts if they hit you, which is nice. So what we have here, this one's a little all over the shop. So the first one we have is a chaser ability. So early game, self-read, when a skill hits, for every 30% hit rate at the time of skill activation, a follow-up attack is dealt for a maximum of 3 times, equal to 20% of the damage dealt. If your hit rate is 90%, have 3 extra 20% attacks. That's nuts. This card is wild, especially for Grand Slam. The second one, of course, is just a more powerful version. For every 20% hit rate when the skill is activated, a follow-up attack equal to 20% of the damage is performed once, maximum 5 times. Creation, hit rate plus 10%. So for any of you sitting there going, but you don't have 100%. Well, you do. And of course, you also have our second skill here. So this is early game. The more life you have, the higher your hit rate to a maximum of 20%. And then late game, when an aura technique is activated, it is guaranteed to hit once. A stronger effect on the bottom, it's just the same, but 40% extra hit rate. 40% extra hit rate. You know who likes this? Tyrant. I'm going to build some ridiculous tyrants with this. But you think of things like Baby Dino. Anything that's got an absolute gamble of an attack goes, Actually, I think I'll have an extra 40% hit rate, please, because I've got a load of life. It's wild, it's insane, I can't wait to mess around with this. Is it the card Red needs? I don't even have the answers to that anymore. I don't think colour viability ends up being as powerful as it once was. And let's do a temple whilst we're here. Just cause, why not? You watch me get an MR. No. Absolutely nothing. We get a dog. Dog get. It's not the dog everyone wants, but it's a dog. And then I'll bring us to this screen just for a quick update on Frelia, because it's come to light that she has additional skills. So we talked about the 2 on the card. Actually, we'll go and look at those. So it shows us the Frelia's Trial, and that's the one that reduces their attack stat and makes them use the opposite attack stat. And of course we have the weaker version of it. And then down at the bottom we have the Ancient Tochika's teachings, so it increases hit rate or gives you excitement, which is attack stats and guts recovery. And then the higher version of that, the bottom one being the enhancement level 1 for rank 5. What we also have that you earn throughout the game by doing her little tasks are the Power of Ancient Tochika Introduction. All stats except life are increased by 5%. When you take 20 or more guts damage at once, your technique stats increases by 4, and if you have an advantage, you deal an additional 10% damage as a follow-up for 10 seconds. Then you have Ancient Tochika Power Destruction. At the start of battle, the following effect is activated. 15% damage block. If your monster level is 10 or higher, multiply your damage by your monster level times 2. So you could just do 40% extra damage. More realistically, this ends up being anywhere between 20 and sort of 34, 36% damage. I haven't seen many level 20 monsters, as much as I've tried. I think the highest I've only ever gotten is 18. And then down at the bottom, the last one that you would get as you were going through. So phase 1 you get the introduction, phase 2 you get the destruction, and phase 3 you get rapid. At the start of battle, plus 200 life. And whilst your skill is active for this rapid skill, absorb 20% of your opponent's attack stat. Yep. Just steal it. Just steal their attack. And also, whilst this is active, convert the next activated move into a beneficial aura 3 times. So it just goes, yeah. What do you mean you don't have anything that's super effective against your opponent? Here, have 3 of them. It's nuts. It's insane. Apologies for this being a little bit slower. I had a 14-hour work shift yesterday, so I couldn't really churn it out. And with that said, have fun. And I am going to run a load of runs with this funny Zan card that I finally got. So, peace.